Hi everyone, in this video I will be designing this landing page in HTML5 and CSS3 and also this water refill effect using this water refill effect uh, plugin. So as you can see, when I hover the mouse on the background or when I click on the background, so you can see the water refill effect on the image, so which is looking cool. And we have navigation also and some title and this animated button. So without further ado, let's get started. I've created a folder. Inside this folder I have created an image folder, and in this folder we have an image, and I'm going to create another folder for the JavaScript and another folder for the CSS files. So I'm gonna visit to the this website, this plugin link, so which is on the GitHub. So I'm gonna click on the dist, and I'm gonna get the minified code for this plugin. So I'm gonna click on the raw, and I'm gonna copy all this code. Okay, I'm gonna create a file for this. I'm gonna name it water ripple dot water ripple. I'm gonna name it minify.js. Okay, I'm gonna paste the code right here. I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna close this. And I need jQuery for this also, so I'm gonna visit to the jQuery website, and I'm gonna click on the that link, and I'm gonna copy the code, and I'm gonna paste it right here in this file. So I'm gonna name it jQuery minify.js, and I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, and I'm gonna create another file inside the CSS folder. So I'm gonna name it style.css. Okay, and then I'm gonna create a file for HTML file. So I'm gonna name it index.html. Okay, and I'm gonna create boilerplates. Okay, I'm gonna rename this to I'm going to rename the title to water ripple effect. Okay, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to open this file. Okay, so which is right now empty, so I'm going to close these. Okay, so I'm going to create a navigation. So I'm going to create a nav tag. Inside this nav tag I'm going to create a container. Inside the container I'm going to create a I'm going to create an anchor tag. So I'm going to give a class a logo. This will be the logo. So I'm going to type this text, and after this I'm going to create an order list, and inside this order list I'm going to create a anchor tag. So this will be the length. So I'm going to name it about. The text will be about, and I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to rename this to services, and this will be like contact. Okay, so this will be the navigation, and I'm going to create another section. I'm going to call it hero. Inside this hero I'm going to create a container. Inside the container I'm going to create a h1 tag. This will be welcome to Astra. Okay, I'm gonna put some text. Okay, I'm gonna paste the text right here, and I'm gonna create a button underneath the paragraph text. I'm gonna give a class button. Okay, simple, and the text will be join us. Okay, I'm gonna save it and refresh. So I'm gonna design this first. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is to link to this style.css file. I'm gonna give a link inside the CSS folder, and I'm gonna link to that JavaScript file as well, js/jQuery. So jQuery will be first, and the other file will be second. So I'm gonna save it, and then I'm gonna design uh, the navigation first. So I'm going to reset some of the CSS properties. So I'm going to remove the margin, padding 0 as well. I'm going to set the border box property to border box, or it should box sizing to border box. Okay, so you will see we don't have that extra spacing, and then I'm going to select the body. Okay, I'm gonna change the font family. So I have used Poppins in this finished project. I'm gonna search for Poppins. Okay, so I need 400 7 and 9. Okay, I'm gonna click on the import, and I'm gonna copy this link. Oops, I'm gonna copy the link, and I'm gonna paste the link here. Okay, I'm gonna change the font family to Poppins, and if this is not available, then the font will be sans serif. Okay, I'm gonna refresh the page. So as you can see, the font has now changed, and also I'm gonna give a line height as well, 1.8. okay, awesome. And then I'm gonna select the anchor tag, and I'm gonna remove the text decoration to none. Okay, and yeah, that's it for the anchor tag. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna select the container class. I'm gonna give width 100%, and the maximum width should be for this container 1140 pixel. Okay, and I'm gonna set the margin to from the top will be 0, and left and right will be auto. So this will be in the center, and what I have to do next, and also I'm gonna give a padding left and right 24 pixel, padding right 24 pixel as well. Okay, and I'm gonna select the navigation links another list. I'm gonna remove the list style to none. Okay, I don't need that bullet, so I'm gonna design the navigation now. So I'm gonna select the nav. I'm gonna set the width to 100%. Okay, and for now let me give a background color red. Okay, so and then I'm gonna select this container, this container. So I'm gonna select nav, and inside this nav we have a class container. I'm gonna set the display property to flex. Okay, and I want the content to be I want the logo and the unordered list to be placed on the left and right side. So for that I'm gonna set justify content to space between. Okay, so as you can see, we have a logo on the left side and these nav links on the right side. Okay, so Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna target this unordered list and I want to display this horizontally. So I'm gonna select nav unordered list. I'm gonna set the display property to flex as well. Okay, and then I'm gonna select nav unordered list item, and I'm gonna give a margin left to 24 pixel. So I want some space between the nav items. So as you can see, we have some space now, like we have in this finished project. Okay, so then I'm going to yeah, that's it for the navigation now. So I will design the navigation, the links, and so I'm gonna design this navigation now. So I'm gonna select the nav and I'm gonna select the logo. Okay, text transform will be uppercase. Okay, and I'm gonna set the font weight to 700. Okay, I'm gonna increase the font size to 24 pixel. Okay, and I'm gonna set, I want the item to be in the center horizontally. Okay, looking cool. And I'm gonna change the logo color to white, and also I'm gonna select the anchor tag inside the navigation. I'm gonna change the color to white as well. Okay, I'm gonna give a font size 12 pixel, and I'm gonna give a font weight 700, and the text transform will be uppercase, and I'm gonna give a letter spacing 1 pixel. Cool. And also I'm gonna give a padding, so I'm gonna select the navigation. I'm gonna give a padding top 24 pixel, padding bottom 24 pixel as well. Okay, looking great. And now I'm gonna design the hero section. So I'm gonna select hero. I'm gonna change the background color. I'm gonna set the linear gradient, and then I'm gonna place an image. So I'm gonna give a dark color, and I'm gonna set the image to be inside this image folder. We have this cover image. Okay, and I'm gonna reduce the opacity to something like 0.5, and also 0.5 for the second video. Okay, so let's see, the image is not displaying. Okay, so this will be a comma here. Okay, so we have an image, and I'm gonna give a minimum height 100 VH, so it will gonna cover 100% of the viewport height. Okay, and background position will be center. Okay, and background size will be cover. Okay, and I want the text to be in the center, so for that I'm gonna set display flex align item center. Okay, and the text will be in the center as well, so I'm gonna set the text align center. Okay, so in the finished project we have this navigation which has a transparent background, and the navigation is on this image, on the hero image. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select the navigation, and I'm gonna remove the background color. I'm gonna set the position to absolute. From the top will be 0. Okay, and from the left side 0 as well, and I'm gonna give a z index 999, so this navigation will be on the top of everything. Okay, so our navigation is ready, and now I'm gonna design this hero section. So I'm gonna select hero, and I'm gonna select the h1. I'm gonna set the font size property to 72 pixel. I'm gonna give a font weight 900, and text transform will be uppercase. Okay, and the color will be white. Okay, I'm gonna set the color white property on this color white. Okay, so or you can set the color white on the body, so you will not gonna do this for the individual elements. So okay, so I'm gonna give font size, I'm gonna increase the font size for the paragraph, font size to something 22 pixel. Okay, and then I'm gonna design the button. So I'm gonna select button class. I'm gonna give a padding 16 pixel top bottom, and 44 pixel left and right. I'm gonna give a border 2 pixel solid white. Okay, and I'm gonna give some space. So I'm gonna select the paragraph. I'm gonna set the margin property from the top. Spacing is going to be 24 pixel. On the right will be auto. Bottom 16 pixel. Bottom will be like 34 pixel, and on the left side will be auto. And save it and refresh. So as you can see, we have some space now. Okay, and there is a lot of space between the h1 and the paragraph, so I'm gonna select the h1. I'm gonna set the line height to 1.2. okay, that will fix, and I'm gonna give spacing should be 14. Yeah, 14, it's looking fine. And I'm gonna change the button color to white as well. Okay, and the font weight will be 700. Text transform will be uppercase. Okay, and I'm gonna change the font size to 12 pixel. Font size 12 pixel, and I'm gonna give a letter spacing 2 pixel. Okay, so and padding should be 18. Okay, and on hover I want to achieve this effect. So for that I'm gonna set the position to relative, then I'm gonna select the button, and then I'm gonna select the before pseudo element. Okay, the content will be empty. Okay, width is going to be 100%, height will be 100% as well. Okay, the background color will be this aqua color. Okay, the position property will be absolute, and from the left from the top will be 0 and from the left side will be 0 as well. Okay, so as you can see we have this background color. Okay, and I want to set the I want to be I want the text to be on this button at the top of the button, which right now underneath of or which is right now underneath of this button and this pseudo element. So for that I'm gonna set the z index property to 2, and for this will be z index -1. So you can see we can see the text now. So I'm gonna push the pseudo element negative. From the left side will be -100%. Okay, so as you can see, and okay, on hover I want to push this pseudo element to this button. So I'm gonna give a transition to this as well. Transition all 0.4 second linear. Okay, and I'm gonna hide the pseudo elements. So I'm gonna set the overflow to hidden. I'm gonna set the display property to inline block. Okay, so now that pseudo element is now hidden, and on hover I want to bring that back to this button. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select the button class, and then on hover, then I'm gonna select before pseudo element. From the left side I'm gonna set to 0. So as you can see, looking cool. And I'm gonna change the border color for the button on hover. So I'm gonna select button on hover. Okay, I'm gonna change the background the border color to aqua. Okay, and I'm gonna change the font color to dark. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna create the water ripple effect using that plugin that I have introduced in the beginning of the video. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna visit to the GitHub page of this plugin. Okay, so then I'm gonna click on the demo. Okay, and I'm gonna copy this code. I have copied the code, and then I'm gonna create another file here. I'm gonna name it app.js, and I'm gonna link to that file here. Okay, I'm gonna paste the code right here. Okay, then I'm gonna save it and refresh. Okay, so I'm gonna select the hero. So I want the effect to be on the hero. I'm gonna save it and refresh. So as you can see, we have that water ripple effect on this hero section. So as you can see, we have this water ripple effect now, and it is looking cool. Awesome. So that's it guys for this video, and yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the video, so make sure to like the video, and yeah, see you in the next video.